The Pareto Principle, the 80/20th rule of life. Today I read about the Pareto Principle, also known as the 80/20th rule, and it made me see patterns everywhere in work, in nature, even in daily life. The idea comes from an Italian economist, Vilfredo Pareto, who in the late 19th century noticed something strange while studying wealth distribution in Italy. Roughly 80% of the land was owned by 20% of the people. Intrigued, he began to look for similar patterns elsewhere and found them everywhere. Over time, this became known as the Pareto Principle, which states that 80% of results come from 20% of causes. It's not a strict mathematical law, but a recurring tendency that shows up across many systems. In business, 80% of sales often come from 20% of customers. In software, 80% of bugs are caused by 20% of code. Even in personal life, 80% of stress might come from 20% of problems, and, if we're lucky, 80% of our happiness might come from 20% of the things we love most. What fascinated me is how this principle reveals the imbalance behind balance. The world isn't evenly distributed. Energy, time, effort, and outcomes are rarely proportional. But instead of being discouraging, the 80/20th rule is incredibly empowering. It teaches us to focus on what truly matters. If we identify the vital few, those small actions, people, or habits that create the biggest impact, we can simplify life without losing effectiveness. It also made me think about productivity in a new way. We often equate busyness with success, filling our days with endless tasks. But Pareto reminds us that not all effort is equal. Sometimes, one carefully chosen hour of deep, meaningful work can accomplish more than an entire day of scattered activity. The same applies to relationships, learning, and creativity. Focusing on the essential few yields the richest results. Nature, too, seems to follow this rhythm. In forests, 20% of the trees might capture 80% of the sunlight. In cities, 20% of the roads handle 80% of the traffic. The world operates on hidden asymmetries, and understanding them can help us act with wisdom instead of exhaustion. Reading about the Pareto Principle made me realize that minimalism isn't about having less, but about valuing the right things. Life becomes lighter, work becomes smarter, and choices become clearer when we stop spreading our energy thin and start nurturing what truly counts.